Hello everybody. Today's tutorial is going to be how to draw a box in SketchUp, and in particular how to draw the box that we were actually working on in class before all this started. All right, some of you guys finished, some of you are right in the middle of it. All right, we drew this box using pencil and paper. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to do in SketchUp. Okay, so we'll go up to the upper left hand corner, we'll click on our program. Okay, I want to zoom in on the origin. I want to use that origin point to start my drawing. I'm just going to rotate a little bit to get a better view on that origin. All right. And we're going to zoom in a little bit more. So I always want to start on that origin point and try to get my drawings to line up there. It makes things a lot easier. We're going to start by just drawing a rectangle for our box. So we go to our rectangle tool, click on it, click on the top rectangle tool. We get it here, let it go right to the origin point. I'm going to click once. I'm going to drag out along this axis right here so it lines up with that red axis. All right. And I don't click again. I just kind of leave it there. If I don't click again, now I can type in the lower right hand corner. I'm going to type in my dimensions, okay, which are going to be, the box was 9.5 inches wide. So 9.5, comma, and the space, and then I'm going to do 4 1/4. Okay, I type that right in, and there's my box. All right, so I got the outline of my box. Let's just get a better view here. When I have my orbit tool and I hit shift, I get the grabber. All right, we'll zoom in a little bit more. Slide it over. Okay, zoom in. All right, and then we'll just rotate it. All right, a little easier to see. Okay, so now that's just a flat rectangle. Let's show the edges of the box or the plywood. If you remember, the plywood was 3/4 of an inch thick, the plywood we were using. So quick and easy way to do that is the offset tool. We click to the push and pull tool here on the left. Offset is the bottom tool here, so we click on offset. Okay, bring it over. You'll get that red square, and it'll select this edge. Click one more time and pull in towards the center of the box or the rectangle, and you'll get that picture frame. And once you get that, don't click again, just type in your dimension. That's 3/4, 3/4, and I get my 3/4 inch. Okay, so there I go. So that's my box outline right now. All right. So we want to show our joinery. We want to show how our box is put together. Okay. So I want to zoom in on one of these corners over here so we can show you how we're going to do that. Right, so I zoom in. Okay, so let's get the line drawing tool. Click on our line drawing tool, and I have my line drawing tool. I'll let it snap right to the end point here. I click once, and I bring it down, straight down. It'll turn green, knowing that it's showing me that it's parallel to an axis, or really parallel to this left side of the box. I'll get to the edge and I'll click again, and I get a line. Okay, if we were doing butt joints, this is how our box would be put together. We would just have the two pieces of wood butted together, but we did end rabbits, so we're going to draw a little something extra here. Okay, to draw the end rabbit, what I first want to do is I want to make a mark with my tape measure tool. So click on my tape measure tool once here. All right, I'm going to go right to the corner here, and I'm going to click once on that corner, and I'm going to pull it up, and it's going to say 1/8 of an inch, and I can click again on 1/8 of an inch, okay, or I can just type it in 1/8 of an inch. But either way, I get a mark now. I get a guide point at 1/8 of an inch, all right, which is what I want, because our end rabbit left the thickness was 1/8 of an inch left. Okay, so we're going to go back to our line drawing tool, click on my line drawing tool, go to that guide point, let it snap to that guide point. It'll tell you, okay, click once, and then drag your piece across. And you get that red line, you know it's parallel to the face at the bottom. And then I'm going to click again when it's on the edge, okay, and that's my end rabbit. To complete this, okay, I want to get rid of this little spot here. I go to my eraser tool, click on my eraser tool, go right, focus right on that little piece, and then I just give it an erase right there, okay? So Let's do that on all four corners, okay? I'm going to get my moving tool, go here, I'll grab it. We'll go to the next corner here, zoom in, do it one more time, and I'll just do it real quickly on the other corners, okay? Tape measure tool, click on the tape measure tool. I'm going to come down 1/8 of an inch, click. Okay, I got my mark. All right, I'll get my line tool out, click on my line tool. I want to go here to the end point, click once, drag it up. It's on the axis, parallel to the axis, go to the edge, click it again. Okay, now I have a line there. If that was a butt joint, that's fine, but we got our guide point, click, my line tool, drag it across, back to the edge, click. Now I got my line again. Go over to the eraser. Got my eraser, and I just erased that little one there. And that's our end rabbit. Looks just like our drawings that we did. Looks just like our box, how we built them. Okay, we'll do the other one real quick. The other two, actually. All right. Doesn't matter what order you really do these in. I'll draw this line here, click on the end point, bring this up. See, if I don't do a parallel line, the line turns black, and I don't want that. That's at an angle. But if I draw a line parallel to the other edge, I'll get that green line. That's what I want, okay? That gives me a good parallel line, okay? All right. So tape measure tool, click on it, bring it up to the end point, come down. I can click at 1/8. Okay, I'll get my mark, go back to my line drawing tool, click on my line drawing tool, one click here on the guide point, drag across. I get my red line because it's parallel to the red line right above it. That's what I want. I don't want this. I want a parallel line. Go right to the edge, click again. All right, got that. Eraser, erase that little spot. All right, let's move to the last corner. All right, my grabber. All right, line tool, bring it down. Parallel, on edge. All right, tape measure. Grab the tape measure, make a mark at 1/8 of an inch from the end point up 1/8. Click. All right. And let's grab our pencil again, or line drawing tool. One click on the guide point, perfectly parallel across. All right. Nice there. And the eraser will complete that. All right. Let's zoom out. All right, there's our end rabbits. All right, that's how it is. This would be a good point for you guys to save. Okay, I'm going to call this box project. All right, I'm just going to hit OK. Ask me where I'm going to save it in my Google Drive. Like I said, I have a SketchUp folder. You just want to make sure you know where to go. All right, that's a good point to save it. All right, so got this rectangle. We want to get rid of this middle section. All right, so we'll hit the select tool, click on this middle section. You can hit backspace. All right, that just gives us our plywood pieces, basically. All right, those are our plywood pieces. Now, when we made our bottom panel was 5/16 up from the bottom of the box. We can look at this right now and say this is the bottom of the box. So if we take our push and pull tool, which is over here, okay, and I want you to hit the control button, so you get that plus sign on the push and pull tool. You see that plus sign on it? All right, make sure you get that plus sign up, come up, all right, type in 5/16, all right, and let's do that on all these pieces. 5/16 again, just keep typing it in with your push and pull tool, making making sure that that plus sign is on it, making everything solid. Okay, 5/16. All right, so that's right where our bottom panel would be. All right, okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to make our bottom panel as a separate piece. So I'm going to just move to the side here. All right, just move my drawing over a little bit. All right, and I'm going to make a side panel right to the side of the drawing here. All right. Now our bottom side panel was a rectangle, so we'll get the rectangle tool out. Okay, I'm going to put it right about here. I'm going to drag it out. All right, and it was an inch shorter than both dimensions on the box, meaning our box was 9.5, so this is going to be 8.5. Our box was 5.25, so this is 4.25. So we're going to do a rectangle piece at 4.25 by 8.5. Okay, so I'm doing 8.5, 4.25. Oh, I wrote that wrong. 4.25. Okay, that gives us that. All right, I'll do my push and pull. If you guys remember, our piece was 1/8 of an inch thick. So we're gonna make sure we have that control button that gives us the plus sign. All right, and I wanted you to just type in 1/8 of an inch. All right, and that gives us our piece. And if we rotate, we take a look at it. We got our little pieces here, 1/8 of an inch thick. All right, that's exactly what we want. So we want to do this thing in SketchUp called making this a component. We want to kind of make it, kind of locks it from being changed and doing anything else. We can move it around and copy it and everything like that. But other changes in the drawing won't be applied to this. Okay, so we want to go, what I do is I click my select tool, double click on this thing, the whole thing is highlighted. Actually, I think you got to triple click. All right, triple click, the whole thing is highlighted. Okay, you'll see the top and the bottom is highlighted, the whole object there. Okay, all right. Now what I want to do, put my mouse pointer over here and give it a right click. Okay, if you have a Mac, it's probably 2 fingers. But if you do a right click, get it here. Hold on. Maybe it's, if we go to components, no. I don't know why I didn't get the menu. Let's get my select tool. Let's do a right click again. There we go. Just had the right click there. Sorry about that. Make component right here should be an option. Just click on make component. You can give it a name. I usually never do. I just say component number 1 and just hit OK. Okay, and it kind of just locks it from being changed from now on. Okay, so now we have our bottom panel. All right, I want to go back here to our drawing. All right, and I want to mark where, like, the corner, zoom in, where the corner of that bottom panel is going to go. All right. So if you remember, it would come in a 1/2 an inch. It would sit into the box 1/4 of an inch. So that meant there was a 1/2 inch left over. So what I want to do is get my tape measure tool because I want to make some marks. Okay. I'm going to make a mark here. I'm going to come in. There's a couple ways I could do this. I can come in right here. I can do 1/4 inch. Right. Just put in 1/4. Right. And then here, I can put in from the guide point, okay, I can do another 1/4 inch, make sure it's parallel, get that red line to make sure I'm parallel, okay, I'll click again. So now I have this point right here. This point is where the corner of our bottom panel is going to sit, okay, and that's going to help me place this bottom panel in. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm going to do here. All right. Let's just get a little better view going on. All right. So what I want to do is I want to move this object on the left over and sit right on top of our box where we want it to go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use my move tool. If I go to the left-hand corner here and then look at my move tool, click on my move tool, This will get highlighted, so now it's going to move this object here. I like to usually pick a corner, okay? I'm going to move this object over, all right? Now, obviously, this isn't exactly where I want to put it. I just want to get it close, all right? So let's just get it close. Let's zoom in, rotate a little bit so we get a better view of what's going on, okay? So we see my pieces right here, all right? All right. What I want to do is I want to take this corner that's right here, use my pointer. This corner right here needs to sit on that mark that we made, okay? I'm going to get my move tool back again, all right? And I can pick that corner where it turned blue, that bottom corner of the component. So it's corner of component number 1, all right? So when I get that bottom corner, I'm going to click once. Now this thing's going to move, and I'm going to go right to the guide point, and it tells me I'm snapped to the guide point, okay? When I snap on that guide point that I just did, I click again. Now there's my piece. It's laid in place, all right? All right, kind of take a look at it. See, we got the bottom of our box, all right? We got our piece, all right? Pretty happy with that, all right? Rotate our workspace here. All right, so now our bottom panel is in, all right? So all we have to do from here, all right, let's raise the side of the boxes now, all right? What I mean by raise the side of the boxes, let's take our push-pull tool here. Let's click on these sides here. Remember, hit the control button again. You get that plus sign on your push and pull tool. I'm going to come up 2.5 inches, okay? I'm just going to type in 2.5, all right? Same thing here, 2.5. Typing it in. Here also, 2.5. Type it in, 2.5. Zoom out. There's our box. All right. The only thing that really is off right now is this line right here. Okay, and all we have to do is just grab our eraser tool, erase that line, and then move around the drawing and erase that line all around the drawing, okay? So grab my eraser tool again, erase it here, erase these little ones there, okay? Rotate around again. That one's already erased, okay? And erase. All right, rotate, take a look at this guy again, right up underneath. I did something wrong because I totally erased everything. So let's just undo. Got my piece back here. Right, things don't always go right. That's why we have undo. Okay. Let's just keep an eye on this and see what happens when I hit erase again. All right, so that fixed it for whatever reason. All right, it's a good idea to save at this point. Click on save. And this is where we're going to stop today. All right, we got our box. Take a look at it. All right, we'll rotate around. All right, this is basically our box with the bottom panel that's in there. All right, it's just like we built it. All right, and then I'll wait for the next lesson for part 2, and I'll show you guys what we're going to do. We're going to put the hinges and the top on. All right, so save it, hold on to it. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you next time.